Hello, hello, Rhodey here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on something I've been thinking about following for December, which is Defember Ember. That's Louise Heinzel and 49 Dragonflies. They put out prompts throughout the month. I think it goes 4 days and then you're off 3 and 4 more days and you're off 3. So that's what we're going to work on today. I'm going to be doing day 2 and 3. Day 2, we'll start out with altered playing card and antique keys. Day 3 is a layered tag and retro film strip. So those will be going into my journal ideas to do for this month. Okay, this I've been wanting to show you. This was the little tiles. I showed this in, I think it was when I had my scrapbook.com purchases. At the very end, I was showing this to you where I had taken a piece of green cardstock and I had went around it with some, I don't know what you call it, like a spackle uh, splatter, kind of a stencil. And then I took a little bit of texture paste and put it over here across this stencil I had, and it's a mosaic stencil. And then I think it was Jody Martin that may have given this to me, or Victoria. They gave me these little tiles, and I had been thinking about what to do with them, and I knew I wanted to use them with this stencil. And I used the more square pieces of the little squares to go with. So as you can see, I didn't have enough to cover the whole thing, but I kind of like the way it went. And then I had this saying that fit perfectly in that circle. So I thought that worked. I've got the moth up here because this is going into the nature journal with the lepidopterist lady. I also added a little bit more of the shine on the outside edges. You can probably see. And that's what I had rubbed over the actual texture paste here, because it actually was just fading into the background, so it needed something. And then I covered it with some green on the back so you could journal on it. It's a very large tag. It's 9 1/4. So this is a tall journal though, so it will fit inside of it. Okay, so that was your sneaky peek of the day. First off, we're going to be working on the altered playing card and antique keys. Now, I know you've seen me show this Paper Studio package before. It's 50 die cuts, 2 each. Well, actually, it's 100 pieces. And it had all of these antique looking things in it. And I thought, and so I got to thinking, how could I blend that in with a altered playing card? So what I thought was, the clubs actually looks like it's a keyhole. So that that is where I'm going for here. It looks like it's going to be a keyhole. So it's going to be a simple card. I'm going to cover it. I may spray it first with some specimen. It's sort of a greeny gray color. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this over it, which is just some gift tissue, but it's got some gold and it's a white background. We'll see how that works. I don't know whether I want to go first with that or first with the I'll probably go first with this and then spray it. So let's just rip us a little bit off of here. Now, this little item will be going into my antique journal, which I really want to get that started. I got to start gathering things up for it, figure out what I want to put in it. But a lot of these items here they're going to work out perfectly. So I've got that. I've got the Stamperia paper pad that I showed you and my what's on my desk for this month or last month maybe. Yeah, it was for one of the months. I can't remember. Now, if you don't have gift tissue, which is very cheap, it's $1.49 at Hobby Lobby in the party section. Or you can use napkin. You can use quite a few things. Let me just take some scrap out of my trash can here. And I'm going to use a glue stick. Just a glue stick. And we're going to put that on here. Let's see. How would I like it? I don't want to cover up. I would like to give it more of a a ripped edge, so maybe something like that. And I may come back over, like, I want to leave this in the middle open though, because that's my keyhole. I wish it was a little larger, but oh well, it's not. So we'll just make do with what we got, right? Sometimes that's all you can do. Now I'll take something that's going to be able to push that in. You can still see the actual A underneath of it, which that's great. And let me go ahead and cut this down. Now, altered playing card, if you haven't ever done one, that's just where you're taking a playing card and you're altering it. So, you know, there's not that much to it. Any way you can change the look of it, that would work. Okay, so I'm going to go up this way. So I'm going to leave one of the A's fully open. And then, yeah, I like that really rough, jaggedy edge that I got there. I don't know if I covered it all the way. Let's see if I did. Okay, there we go. So I want to thank everyone for coming to visit. I know this is going to be a busy, busy month. It's going to be, I get so stressful in December. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just don't like this holiday. I worked in Walmart for so long, and it was just so merchandised, you know. Nobody was buying what they thought the person needed. They were just buying something to have something, you know what I mean? So I've always wanted to do something to give the person that was personalized. And a lot of times I used to make presents. You know, I really made a lot of presents over time. I kind of like that. We'll go with that. Now, I may want to actually buff it up a little bit too. Let's see what we can do on the outside edge with some vintage photo and one of these brushes. Let's see if that add a little bit more of a layer to it, you know. So this is just vintage photo ink, which, especially if you're getting something wet, a lot of times that, and it's sticking to the glue stick part too. It will work better, I think, when you're combining inks and then something with the water. I don't know. The oxides, I'm not a fan of them because they get that oxidation on them. And I'm just not a happy camper when I have to deal with those. Ooh, must have totally missed that part right there, which we'll leave that open because I got to use it for the key. But first we have to get some some spray on it. I wanted to put a little bit of this on it around the outside edges just to give it a little bit of oomph. And we can also add a little bit of maybe the scorched timber. And you can see that's in the ink as well. I don't know, I kind of prefer them a lot of times to use on the outside edges or to do my tag edges, things like that. I really like how that got really burnt looking there. All right, now I got that done. Now I'll pull up my splat box and we'll do a little spraying. All right, I've got my specimen, which is still like a green color. Maybe a little gray, I'm not sure. But I'm wanting to get all of that mica rolled off of the bottom down there. So it will be in my liquid. And I'm going to just mostly spray on the outside edge. I don't want to really be on this other side. Oh, goodness. Okay. You never know what you're going to do. Maybe I didn't think it all the way out. But, you know, I don't really mind that. It's kind of interesting. Now, I got to let it dry. See a bunch of wet spots. You can actually dab at that or whatever. It's kind of interesting, though. It looks like an old, you know, kind of bronzy kind of doorstop. That's kind of, could be where I was going with that. Who knows? So I'm going to set it there and let it dry a second. Okay, since this is a coated surface, it's still a little wet on there. So I dabbed at it with my nasty little rag there. But I'm going to go around the outside edge with some of this iced espresso Deco Art metallic luster, because I want to give it that kind of rusty look. That's kind of metal, rusty, whatever you can get out of it. And I'm just kind of weeching it on there with my finger. And I'm kind of just going with wherever it wants to land kind of deal. And I'm trying not to be even Steven. I want it to kind of be all over. Now, the way this will be used, it'll just be like a tiny journal card that'll tuck into a pocket. That's about the best way. You could make a tuck out of it if you really wanted to, and just tuck something behind it and have it laying on the page. Okay, I kind of like the way that's worked out there. Now I'm going to go clean my finger off, and I'll be back. All right, I was looking in my sticker book. I think this was last year, so 2023, the Halloween sticker book. And I found 154 High Street. I don't think I'm going to find anything to do with keys in here. So I thought, well, you know, an address would work for an item which is, you know, with a key and a keyhole. So I thought, that might work best. So I'm going to go around it with some of the scorched timber just to darken it and get it off my finger. Now we're going to put our two items on here. We have our key, which I'm going to put at an angle like that, right? So how, yeah. It's okay if it's hanging off, because this could be, like I said, a side tuck. So I only need the glue to go about right here. So I'm going to put it like that, like it's going to go into the lock, to give you the impression it's going to go into the lock. And then we're going to have this. It's already sticky, but I always like to help it out. And that's going to go down here in this kind of dark section. Try to get it as straight as you can, not get glue everywhere. Oh yeah, I'm a messy gluer. Okay, let me see. Now, what can happen on this back side is that it can be sorry, I'm pushing it all around. It can have a piece of coffee dyed paper on the back of it if you want to use it for like a journal card. But more than likely, I am going to use this for a tuck, just so I can save myself from having to deal with that. Plus, I've already got some of this this spray everywhere. So this is going to the side to dry, and we're going to get on to our next one. Now, day number 3, which is today, is going to be a layered tag and retro film strip. So this is going to go over into my bucket for my antique journal. And my idea for this is this right here. I know you've seen these people before, but I thought, let me just go ahead and use them. Like I got 2. It's going to be 3 men. So I've got 3 men. So we are going to put them on a piece of black cardstock. And then this is a little piece from one of the Tim Holtz die sets that he just brought out of the vault. And I wanted to use it for like the pull on the top of the tag, because this is supposed to be a layered tag. So I have an idea for that. And I might actually need 4 guys. If that's the case, do I have 4 guys? I got 2 girls. We might be using a girl, if this works right. I also have one of these. This had the remnant rubs in them, but I'm going to use that on the back side, I'm going to kind of cut that off. So that could be a writing space. So it's all nice and aged and everything. I always keep all of these just so, in case I want to use them for something. And they're already nicely, grungied up and all that kind of good stuff. So let's go ahead and get our people out and see what we got to do here. So this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I may need to go up a little bit. I zoomed you in when I was doing the playing card. So we have this old guy. He looks rough. And it's got a black edge, so I thought, well, that might work with the film strip part here. And this is going to go... I'm going to leave just a tiny bit down there at the bottom. Now, I'm leaving a nice bit of room over here to the right because we're going to make our own film strip. I know a lot of you may not have anything to make a film strip. See all the little dots that's over here? We're going to actually make those. I've got a small hole punch right there, if you can see it. The large one's there, which is like a regular size hole punch. And then I have the little one, which is the one we're going to use. You also have the option of having maybe like dots, if you got like a bunch of dots that's been cut out. If you have any bling that's like a dot, you can use that. Let's see, I'm going to put that right there. And then, actually, crap, I've already done it wrong. You know me. I'm always going to be doing it wrong. Now, I can still pull this up, I'm sure. And we'll go over here on the other side. The idea that I wanted to go with, see, we're just going to flip it like that. I actually need to start at the top. Now we're going to do that. Because it says it's a layered tag. Now, to take that into the thought processes of what... Now, you can use your own interpretation of this. So my idea for a layered tag is actually something that would be 2 layers. There's more than just the one. So I wanted to have another layer to it, yet I didn't want to really have to add more to the actual tag itself. If that makes any sense at all. All right. I'm wanting to make sure that I'm going to have enough room to flip up the bottom and have one more person that's going to be flipped up. All right, so we're going to use... Who's the one we got left here? Okay, we got this guy. And then we got that guy. I think this guy looks more demented, so we'll put him on the outside. I've got one girl left. I don't have any of his other, what is this, photo mat, photo booth. He's got some kind of other bunch of pictures that's, I think they're called photo booth, where you've got all these crazy people. Now, these demented looking ones, I think we're only in the Halloween. So if you like the looks of these, I think you have to get that sticker book. He kind of changes them every year. Yes, we have plenty of room for this guy, for the flip up. All right, so I'm going to go over and cut this to get this even on both sides, just like that. Let me do that. Okay, I've got it cut down on both sides. It's not quite straight, but oh well. And then I have where I scored right underneath of this guy, kind of leaving the same amount. And then we're going to flip that up. And that's going to become the layered part of our tag. Now this guy also needs to be glued down. And it's going to be just like that. And I'm going to put him up just about like the top guy, because we're going to put like a saying underneath of here. Now, trying to wipe up all your glue. I always put a little extra glue because stickers don't sometimes always stick. Alright, so we have this we need to take care of next. And I'm actually going to cut. This was like 7 of these actual openings. And I must have used a couple on something before. So we're going to take and just glue this down. This is a scrap from my stamp period. It's got some grunginess to it with all these dots and everything, and I thought that would be perfect. So we're going to kind of go like that. We're making just a pull. It's a tag, so, you know, it needs a pull. So we're going to put those grungy spots right in there. That's why I always leave my scraps out, because I can always find something I can use. There. Okay, let's cut it. And then we're just going to cut this side. And then cut that side. All right. Yeah, I'm always a Scrooge at Christmas. I don't. It's my mother's favorite time of the year, though I don't understand it. The poor thing hardly got anything good for Christmas except clothes and everything, you know, back in the day. So I'm more of a person that wants to, I don't know. I wanted to draw names one year. Oh my gosh, she wouldn't have that. She would not have it at all. I wanted to make it easy on everybody, so, but nope. Couldn't be done. All right, now, what I want to do is take my ruler or take my, you can do either, but I think I might be able to use the dots that's here on my piece. So we're going to go every, what are we going to do? I'm going to do it on both sides, because remember, you got 2 sides of a film strip, and I'm going to skip it like a 1/2 inch apart, I guess is how you would term it. So I'm going to go all the way down through here like this. Oop, almost missed that one. You can do it fast after a second. I need to search for a punch that is a square. Now, I've seen people use those on film strips. I mean, negative slide type of things. Now, I get down to here and you see I'm starting on 2 layers, but that's okay. That's about the right spot. But I've been wanting to hunt around and try to find one of those square punches. It's not a very big punch, but you can do so many different things with it. All right, and there we go. I don't have the bottom one, but I might actually punch the bottom edge. That might give me the look that it's continuing around. All right, let's use our crocodile. That's what this is. Let me cap this glue real quick, because I want to put this, punch these out before I actually glue my topper on. All right, so I'm going to go in here. If it's hard to see against black, you can always use a white dot, like a gel pen, to get in here and try to put it in the right spot. Mine never punches quite correctly, but you just keep going down through here like this. Just, oh, I moved that one a little too far inward. Oh, but you'll just keep going. They sometimes get stuck, so you can knock them out. Now here's where we're going over the doubled area. That one moved in a little further than I wanted. You can take this as slow as you need to. I don't seem to be doing that. Now, once I get down here to the bottom, that's where I'm going to kind of overlap. Oh, not that. I need to do a little more. Did that work? I might have to trim some of these off. I'll be right back. Okay, I went down that side. You can see how crooked it is. And then I went down this side. And then it flips open. Now I have a piece here that says 100 years ago. I think I might actually put that on a piece of this as well to put on the front. So we'll leave this over to the side. I've marked where I need to cut this. So this needs to go first. Right there. And see, it's got so much writing on it. There's not really any way to use any of that, even for my 100 years ago. So we'll use a piece from this other one. Now I've got a mark up here, I think right there. I'm going to make sure this is straight, so I'm looking on this line right here and making sure she's straight all the way up. So I've got that strip to go on the back. It had to go between these two dots, so that's why it's kind of skinny, if you're wondering why. So let's just cut off a strip there for our wording, which can go on right here. I'm okay with it being a little on the larger side. Okay, let's hold it like this. Let's see what we can do. It's a little slick as well, but do I want it that wide? Let me look real quick for... yeah, it can go that wide. Oh, whoopsie. So that can go right there. Yeah, like I said, it's slippery, so it's going to slide around on you. But yeah, I thought 100 years ago, that's where these people look like they came from 100 years ago. That, if you think about it, 100 years ago wasn't that long. 1924. That's the roaring 20s. And to younger people, that's ancient history. But to some of us, that was like in the heyday of our grandparents. They were either getting by. They didn't know the depression was going to hit soon. A lot of them weren't able to afford much as it was. But after the depression hit, it was awful. The government had to start creating jobs. I know in one of the census I look at, they were creating jobs for everybody. I forget what the initials were. WPA, Workers something Association. WPA, that's right, yeah. Oh, I'm going to be covering up a couple of my holes, but, you know, that's okay. I need to get in here and make sure it's not gluing anything on the inside together. That's the only thing I got to worry about. Kind of gnat. Loving my glue. Okay. And I'm going to, which one was it? This one? No, that one's too wide. Has to be this one. It's going to go right down through there. Now I'm going to turn it because see how this has got like an edge, a shadowed edge? That would be best to have down here where at the bottom the shadow would be a normal area for it, you know. Okay. And most times when I'm shadowing anything, I always go to the left side. I don't know, it was just like my normal way to do it. Okay, let's get that on there. Now we can put our pull for our tag. And we'll get in here and just put glue all the way around the outside edges, because we're just gluing it all the way down. It's going to be about right like that. I got to try to get it dead center. I think that's it. And push. And you can take your burnisher and also do some pushing like that. Some of the glue will come out, so rub it off and go back again. There we go. All right, I think we're done. I'm going to get a little bit of that off. There we are. It is done. All right, so both of our projects are done for the day. We have our altered playing card with antique keys. It says keys, and I only used one. Whoops. Okay, so I had a little tiny key, not very big at all. So we'll put that on here as well. So we're up to date on the trueness of this. I think I'll just put it up here. Kind of like hanging out in this corner. All right. We're on the money now. All right, so that is our antique key and on an altered playing card. And as you can see, it's nice and shiny all the way around. And then here is our, what is it? A layered tag and a retro film strip. So the layered part comes here. Now, I also can take and cut this down and put that on the back side here, so I have another little journaling area. You could use tea dye paper, coffee dye paper. You don't have to use this, which is actually a slick surface. So I don't know how good that will be to write on. I can buff it up a little bit, maybe with my little Brillo pad. And then we have all of our people on our film strip. I could actually go in here and put another woman. I had that one woman left. Let's just do that. We don't need her to be filled and left out, so we'll just put her right in here. And it's nicely alternated because I have a guy and then I'll have her. And I'll put her right here. Like right under him, where it looks like she's a continuous part of the film strip. There. You know me, I'm always changing my mind. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming to visit. Now, the way I would be putting this in the journal, I'm going to be paper clipping it to the edge of the journal page. Say this, or this is the journal page. I'll be putting it right here and putting a paper clip on it. And that's going to hold my little flappy part down here as well. Or if it gets put into a pocket, that's going to automatically hold that shut. Okay, I want to thank everyone, all my subscribers and viewers, for coming by to see what I was doing today. And I hope you try these or start doing these prompts. I've been wanting to do some prompts, so this is fulfilling my wants and needs. So everybody take care, have a good day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.